How we doing? So we're now going to make our next progression, which is our second part of the free forms, which is crab. So we've learned beast, we're now going into crab. Crab's working on the posterior. The first thing we're going to do is sit on our bum, and we want to get our heels relatively close to our bum as we sit into, or on our posterior. As we sit down, we want to have a lesser distance than you probably think from the heel to the glue. And that my feet are going to be roughly around hips width apart. Then from there I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to place them behind me, and I'm going to externally rotate, so therefore my fingers are pointing away from my toes. Now, from this, how I want to activate from here, I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades and I'm going to tuck underneath my tailbone, alright? So underneath my pelvis, I'm going to tuck that under. Then from here to activate, to set crab, alright, or to get into static crab, what I want to do is push my feet and my hands into the floor simultaneously. That will then raise my hips off of the ground. So I'm not lifting from driving my hips up, I'm pushing my feet and my hands into the floor at the same time, and this then gets me into my static crab position. Now from here, what I want to do is find that balance from where my hips sink level in between my feet and my hands, and this is why it's important that my feet aren't too far away from my body. So I'm going to find that middle ground, which is roughly about here. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades, tucking my tailbone under. I've got a nice strong position, and I'm pushing my hands and feeding my hands into the floor with that external rotation. If you've got slightly tight chest, then if you take your arms just outside the shoulder width, that have a little bit more give for you. Now from here, what I want to practice doing is lifting the limbs independently. So if I want to take my left foot from the floor, I'm going to focus on putting my weight to the other 3 points, which would be my right foot and my 2 hands. And then I'm going to lift my foot from the hip. So I'm not lifting from the knee, I'm lifting my foot from the hip. And it's the same rules apply as when we're in the beast. I want to only have my feet off of the ground, roughly about 1 inch. But notice my bum hasn't risen. Alright, I've lifted from the hip, so therefore it's kept my bum in exactly the same place. So we're going to practice that. You're going to move from one limb to the other, pushing all the points onto the putting the pressure onto the other 3 points that are in contact with the floor. And then we can rest, and then we move on to travelling crab.